Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Mike Tyson on, I don't even know where it's going to be on, probably Netflix again.
Hey, whoop his ass, champ. Yeah, man.
Hey, y'all, welcome back to the Divine Hook podcast. And I'm joined here with Elijah. And today we have a few things we do want to discuss. Of course, all boxing related. You already know that all we do is discuss boxing. Maybe some football. Football season's back, so why not, right? But so our last episode, I mean, it was intense. I do kind of do want to do a little recap on that just to maybe get a little understanding about that interview because it's still a lot of chaos from what I'm seeing in some of
Yeah.
the comments. So I know Elijah, we do have some things to talk about, but I just want to review a little bit on that though.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar that that was his first interview since the Zepeda fight, but I am honored and, blessed that he chose this podcast to come on and do that interview. And thank you for reaching out to Shakur and asking him for the interview and getting him on the show. That's huge for this platform, and it was a great interview. And we got to a lot of questions that I think a lot of fans were interested to know. And now we have a clearer picture on where he's moving forward with his career. So I think it was a
Well,
great interview.
that's the thing. I don't think people really had a clear picture of what he was saying because from the comments I still see it's, well, why are you still giving the belt to your friend? Like, why don't you just fight him? And he made it
Okay.
very clear in the interview that he's saying, I just want to go fight Tio, vacate the belt, come back down to 135 where I'm comfortable. 140 belongs to Key. He does not want to take over at 140. He doesn't want to fight anybody else in 140. So he's not avoiding Keyshawn. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, you might as well say he's avoiding everyone at 140 except
Hmm.
Tio. He just doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to go undisputed in 140. He wants to stay where he's comfortable at. That he did mention that about his weight. So we just want to make that clear. Like he is not ducking Key. He just doesn't want to fight nobody in 140. He just wants to take Tio as a risk. This is great for his career. Tio is a great fighter, Ring Magazine champion. This is a fight a lot of people would love to see. I mean, Tio is a great elite fighter. He's not one of these electricians everyone wants to call. That Shakur fights. So I just think he just wants to prove to himself that he can fight someone great, someone who wants to give him that fight. And then we'll see what happens at 135. Who else, he ends up fighting, whether it's Kid Austin, whether, who else he wants to give that fight to. Um, so yeah, I think we need to get that cleared out because all I see in the comments are he is ducking Keyshawn. This is so buddy buddy. Like, why are we doing this to friends? Whatever happened to boxing? And I feel like they missed the whole point.
Yeah. And I don't really get the criticism because Tank said I'm going to 140 to fight Barrios, and I'm coming right back down.
Yes,
Um,
that happened.
he's not going to just be. Some people may misinterpret that as he's just going to be handing this belt to Keyshawn. No, the belt will be vacated, and Keyshawn will still have to fight for it. So it's
Exactly.
not like he's just going to make him a world champion. Keyshawn will still have to fight for that belt, and we've seen this before. Gervonta Davis moved up, beat Mario Barrios for the title, came back down to 35, vacated the belt. Um, it's fine before, it's fine now. Guys want to push themselves and test their limits, and Canelo fought Bivol, didn't win, came back down. Happens all the time. This is regular.
Literally. And I was just like, is the outrage because it's Shakur or like, does people forget this is how boxing works? I had to use that.
It's
I'm sorry. But this is how
that's
it,
why I have the name.
yes.
Um,
Because like we've seen
that's
other,
what we said before. Like they're held to a higher standard. It's weird.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
Yeah. So you know what? So all I wish all success and luck to Shakur. I know he'll do great. We are very excited to see this fight happening next year. It's going to be intense and it's amazing. So I'm just looking forward to it, and he'll just prove to everybody, what a fighter he is, and that's what it is at the end of the day. But
Yes.
moving on. So I hope you saw
Craziness.
it. Yeah,
Yes.
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Mike Tyson on, I don't even know where it's going to be on. Probably Netflix again.
Yes, but spring 2026 is supposedly when it's supposed to happen. There's not real an actual date for it, but it has been confirmed by TMZ and everywhere else now. So if you haven't heard, yes, Floyd will be fighting Tyson. It's an exhibition fight, another money grab, as they
26.
say. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think another quick 10 million, 20 million. I
I
don't know.
think that Floyd is jealous of
That's
Jake and Tank.
yes, but my question is, why would he be jealous?
So if anybody's familiar with Floyd Mayweather, he'll get up on a Kermel Moulton press conference and talk about how all the shit he did in boxing. He did it with Tank. He's got this weird complex where he doesn't like seeing guys do greater things than him. So it doesn't surprise me at all that Floyd's announcing a fight. I surprised I didn't tweet that I'm expecting a Floyd announcement soon. I should have tweeted that, but
Mm,
I was expecting a Floyd announcement soon, just because whenever somebody gets too big or he feels like somebody may overtake his legacy in the sport, he always has to try to come and one up them. Just like he did when Logan and Jake first got into boxing, and he fought KSI. It was now Floyd wants a Logan Paul fight. You didn't want that before though. But because they're getting involved in boxing and making money and you're not involved, you want to make sure that you get a part of it. So I really just feel like this fight is a basically a slap in the face to Jake and Tank. Um, and yeah, he's just trying to assert his dominance in the sport.
sucks because once upon a time, Floyd and Tank were really, great friends. Like, it was just them two and all. And it really sucks to see. But I mean, but what do you think about this? Because the discussion when Tank took that fight with Jake Paul, it was, well, legacy doesn't pay your bills. You can't take legacy to the bank. You know what I'm saying? They were upset because of Tank taking this fight. So now we're seeing someone's GOAT. Floyd is many people's GOAT. He is one of the greatest fighters out there, right? And then we see Tyson. That's somebody's GOAT too. And so now they're coming to do an exhibition where there is money. So what do we say about that? Like, even your GOATs come back for
It's
even.
going to be a terrible fight.
I
Personally,
terrible. I mean, Mike Tyson didn't even look great against Jake Paul. So I'm just like, what? But again, it's money. But we keep saying we're not going to watch.
Floyd's going to knock out Mike Tyson.
Will they allow that in the exhibition?
Hmm.
Okay.
He's going to go in there. He's going to beat up on old Mike Tyson. He's going to knock him out. He's going to do what Jake, I feel like could have. He just chose not to because it's old Mike Tyson.
Exactly. But
Um,
it's just the fact that now people are like, this is where boxing has come to. Like, screw Jake Paul. This is what he's done to boxing with the exhibitions. So, I mean, do you agree with some of that?
I think there's only so many of these fights you can make. And once you do, that's the end of it. And then the fans are going to want to see real fights with the actual elite. Um, I think that this one really waters down the circus act. This fight takes a lot of the steam and a lot of the hype of Jake and Tank down,
Yes.
um, because it's like, yeah, we got a bunch of circus acts to watch now, not just you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Um,
There's way more. Yeah. And I'm just hoping, Manny wants to return back and,
he
be
will.
better.
He
So
will.
it's like, really?
They'll probably do Manny and Floyd. That's what this seems like a precursor to.
And I was hearing about that what if Manny and Floyd come, they do their own exhibition, and I'm just like, okay. So I don't know. Maybe the viewers can correct me if I'm wrong. And obviously everyone's entitled to their opinion, but my opinion is yes. As much as I care for legacy and all, like, they're gonna come back and make more money, okay? So yes, legacy are important. Get the belts, get the titles, but like, I feel like titles now have been so hard compared to like back in the days. Like, finding out that you have to pay for these belts. So maybe these fighters like, no, I just want to get the quick fights and make money or whatever, and not pay for the belts.
See, I disagree with a lot of that. The sanctioning bodies take 3% of
Hmm.
the purse
Okay.
of world championship title fights. That 3% goes to a nonprofit organization, the WBC, the WBO, the WBA, the IBF. These
Okay.
organizations that have been running and facilitating the sport of boxing for over 100 years.
Hmm.
Muhammad Ali was supported by the WBC.
Right. Right.
All of these fighters throughout history, the only way that stuff happens, the only way this sport operates is with that 3%. I
Hmm.
don't think it's a big price to pay to facilitate this sport that's made all of these guys millionaires.
That's very true. I think at the end it does come though, like just like unlike other sports with boxing, they don't have the retirement, they don't have their pension, so it's whatever they earn, and once they're done, that's the whatever you have in your bank, that's what you have to survive off. And now I'm looking at it like, does this money just run quick, where they're just like 10, 15 years later, like, you know what, let me do an exhibition because I need another quick 10 million because I'm running out. So I'm just wondering
Yeah,
about like what happens after retirement, and we do see some boxers that do retire young, they'll be 28, 32, so it's kind of
Sean
like,
Porter.
yeah, yeah. So I'm just like, they might come back for an exhibition because, like, you know what, if I can come back and it's not like a real fight, and I can make $5-10 million to last me another 10 years, why not, so it is
I
like,
think it's like any business. Any person that starts a business, because boxers are independent contractors,
yes,
uh, you have to build your own retirement. So that's the same for any human that's out there that owns a business. There's no 401k plan. 401k plan.
create that yourself.
Uh, you have to create that yourself, and you have to be educated enough to make smart decisions with your investments. So a lot of that, I think, falls on the fighter. You still have to uh, take into account the entirety of your life, not just your boxing career.
So do you think like the money side, like money management, the financial, like, do you think that needs to be spoken about more for these fighters, especially
Huge investing,
at
how
18?
to start businesses, gyms or other avenues to keep the revenue coming in when you're no longer able to make that money in the ring.
Yeah, because a lot of these fighters they sign young at top rank at 16, at 18, and it's kind of like almost like when you're heading to college and you sign that FAFSA like loan agreement, and you're about to
Mhm.
end up paying so much money back, and you don't know it, and you're just living life with all that financial aid money, and then you're like, oh, I'm in debt, right? But I feel like for young boxers, they should be educated more, learning how to manage the finances, like what more to do,
Mhm.
because to understand, like, hey, this is not going to be like football or baseball where you're going to be set for life once you retire or any of that sort. Like, you might run out of money, So I think that is important. I just feel like that needs to be discussed more on how it works because, again, like, we're gonna see those comments. Oh, legacy doesn't pay the bills. Who cares about legacy? Like, they got a family to feed. They got this and this and that. And it's like, when then also we need to work on the money management part then as well. Like maybe more
Mhm.
financial literacy when it comes to being an independent contractor and these type of businesses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It should be interesting. I'll see when, this fight probably will take place, probably in Vegas or something. I have no clue. But as much as we always say, I am not going to watch that, I'm pretty sure people will tune in. So,
Everybody's gonna watch
yeah.
Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson,
That's your goat. Like, yeah, you're good.
and Floyd and Mike have had beef throughout the years. So
Yes. So, people are going to tune in. People are going to tune in. All right.
uh, go ahead.
Okay. I was
Sorry.
moving on to the next possible
Yes.
fight that's coming up, which is Lamont and Pitbull. So they're in negotiations.
Yes, I think that's a perfect fight. I would hope Tank beats Jake Paul. That would be his next opponent, the winner of that fight.
Mhm.
Because those are two guys that some people think that Tank lost to Pitbull. I don't believe so.
Yeah.
Um, I do believe he lost to Lamont Roach. In both of those fights on his record, he did not. And there's a lot of unanswered questions for Javante Davis on both aspects of that. So I think a fight between those guys. It definitely sells. It'll be a huge fight. And man, it's a very interesting matchup. Lamont's super technical.
Hmm.
Um, and he's a good counter puncher. I wouldn't say the fastest hand, but he has nice combinations.
Yeah.
But then you have Pitbull, who I feel like is getting tremendously better. Amazing gas tank, and he's got like power that's like a horse kick. Like he's knocking these dudes silly.
I like it. I think bringing that pressure during that fight against Lamont, and I want to see that, So
Yeah,
I think it'll be great. He has, that style. It's way different than Tank, obviously, but I think it'd be a great matchup for Lamont. I know his previous opponent was supposed to be what was it, Gabriel Flores?
hmm.
Okay, so a lot of people said, well, that looks like a tune-up. Do you think this with Pitbull sounds like a tune-up, or do you feel like this is
Oh
actually
no.
okay?
This is a I wouldn't even consider this a tune-up. This is just a regular fight.
Great. So I do think, if this goes through, like this will be really good for Lamont. I put Pitbull in your resume. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is good. I prefer it over Gabriel Flores. So
Me too.
I'm excited for this. So I really hope, I know they're in
Yes.
negotiation. So we'll shall see what the announcement is when they, talk about it. And then the Mungia situation.
Yes. So Jaime Munguia was cleared of his PED use due to contaminated supplements.
Yeah.
Um, Good for him. He is back in action. He's able to fight. His name is good to go. I just think that there's uh, a bigger issue um, in terms of PEDs. My only concern with the contamination claim is what if they self contaminate? Or I feel like the research there has to be more research, or they should do a deeper investigation
Hmm.
um, into it, because it is strange that several fighters from around Canelo Alvarez
Yes.
have tested positive for performance enhancing drugs,
Not the first time. Yep.
and they all say it's due to contamination. But you look at other camps, they're not getting these same rates of contamination. So that's my only concern. But his name is cleared, just as Canelo. They were cleared due to contamination, so they did not take PEDs
Yep.
intentionally. That is not the same for Ryan Garcia. He did not clear his name
This
whatsoever.
that's a whole different situation. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's being proven that it was accidental contamination.
Contamination.
Again, just like you said, like where is this coming from? Like where are they contaminating from? Because other camps are not having this issue, and it's just such a coincidence with with his camp, of course, who's already known for being caught with PED. So it's like, like why with them and not anyone else? So it's just really fishy. I'm glad it was a false positive though, and he's clear. He's able to fight again. But again, I think all of that needs to be investigated and just making sure like what is going on in those camps because
Yeah.
they should not have any accidental, contamination going on at all. Like that's
Yes.
because we are putting these fighters, they're they're a risk here. He was I think what is now the minimum um, consequence for being caught with cheating with PEDs.
I don't believe they have a baseline minimum amount, or
There was
it's all case by case.
okay because there was one I think it was in England. It was a fighter, but I think they said 5 years, and I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
and that's another thing. It also changes depending on jurisdiction.
there you go. But imagine if that was the penalty. It's like I don't think nobody would even want to do that because you're wasting 5 years of my prime time here. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And so I
And then
think
you'd be that much more careful about what you consume, because I feel like ultimately it's on the fighter to ensure what they're putting in their body.
yes,
You can have your supplements tested before taking them.
yes, exactly. So yeah, hopefully, I mean that camp can get it together. But I'm glad he's cleared and he's able to fight again. So that's good news. So you know what? Glad to see him back in the ring soon. So that's good. Um,
Yes,
and now you ended up going to the press conference for Thurman and Fedora.
yes, I did.
Tell us a little bit about that.
The press conference was amazing. Everybody looked great. Everybody looked ready. Um, I would say starting with the co-main event, Fulton and Foster were both both men of few words. Both guys didn't have a lot to say.
Well, Foster
Both,
doesn't say in those interviews though.
yeah, he did start talking a little bit more afterwards, but in the initial press conference, I would say that both guys didn't. They weren't like shooting too much back and forth.
Hmm.
Um, both guys were very respectful of their opponent, and they both know that it's a big fight and there's a lot on the line, and yeah, it's a very pivotal moment for both of them in their careers. So I think it's a great matchup. I'm excited to see both of them.
Me too.
Um, yeah, I got a lot of great footage. If you guys check out my X account at How Boxing Works, um, on all platforms, TikTok, I uploaded footage of the press conference.
It looks amazing. I mean,
Thank you.
who do you have for Fulton versus Foster? Who are you going for?
I right now it's going to take some time. I got to see a little bit more in the camps, in the build up, mainly because Fulton is moving up.
Yes, he's
Um,
moving up, and now that's what Foster was saying that he's gonna make him move back down. Once he beats.
yeah, but Fulton was looking big. He was looking very big at
Like,
that press conference. And he hinted at potentially going to lightweight after this if he becomes a three division world champion.
all power to him. If he can do it, he can do it. I love that wholesome video of him with that monster truck.
Yeah, he said his son packed it in his bag. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Fulton. I think Fulton has the skills and the tools here. Foster's a great fighter too. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yes.
You have to watch a little bit more of Foster to really say more about him. I've watched more about Fulton. I love that fight with him against Inoue. Obviously he lost that fight, but hey, all power to him to even fight someone like Inoue. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It was a great fight, and I feel like some people overlook him because of that loss, and I'm just like, no, like that was a
Oh
great.
no, I think he definitely brought himself back
He did.
to the top level with his win over Brandon Figueroa. A lot of people did not have him winning that fight.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And I can't wait for his next boxing kit because he's always so fly. So
Oh yeah,
I'm
thanks.
excited to see that. Now, Fandora and Thurman, who do you have for that fight?
So that one, I've been kind of set on it for a little bit, but Fedora is getting better. But
He keeps improving each fight. Yes,
Thurman is a puncher,
he is.
and
But do
we've
you
seen what happens.
think of his height, do you think he could just jab his way out of this and avoid that power?
He's also so styles make fights, and
Yes.
Thurman is crafty, and Fedora is an inside fighter at the end of the day. When the fight gets tough, he resorts back to what he knows, and that's on the inside.
Yes.
And Thurman's going to bring that to him. He's not going to be able to utilize his jab and his range. Mainly, I think so because he hasn't utilized it throughout the majority of his career. He's been trying to now, and he's getting a lot better at it. But over the course of 12 rounds, I think that Thurman's IQ, he'll be able to close the distance and stop Fedora.
Yeah. Yeah. It should be a really great fight. I'm actually excited for this. So October 25th, correct?
Yes,
Okay. So we all
October 25th on
yeah.
Amazon Prime.
Awesome. So yeah, so no
Yes.
excuses, guys. Get on Amazon Prime, please, because this is going to be a great fight. I'm excited. I'm going with Fandora. I got Fandora, and I'm going with Fulton. So we will see if my predictions are right.
Yes.
And interesting.
We're going against each other this one.
I know. And I think that's what makes it so much
Yes.
fun.
And no disrespect to the fight. I hope fighters don't be like, oh, he's picking against me. I'm just, hey, just making a prediction.
I feel like everybody has, you know what? I think everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And I know in boxing, the community, it's really weird when you pick fighters and who you're choosing because it's either you're biased or you're glazing. I hate that word, but it's just you can support a fighter because it's like they think, you pick a fighter and they think you're automatically like a big fan of them. And it's like, no, I just support the fighter. I think, he has a great style
Yeah.
and stuff. And, like I've been blocked because I've praised Tank and they think I'm a big Tank fan or something. And I'm just like, can I just say positive things about the guy? Like, just because you hate him doesn't mean I have to hate him. Like,
Exactly.
so I just, I'm trying to remain as neutral as possible. I understand we all have our faves, and we want to support our faves, but they can take the criticism too.
Yes.
They'll hear it from us. They'll hear it from us. All right, so we do have a couple of fights coming up this weekend. I definitely want to start off because in our last episode with Shakur, he brought up Emmanuel Chance, right? He goes by Manny. So he will be fighting tomorrow in Pennsylvania, and this would be his third fight, I believe. So, he has an amateur record 27-1. Shakur did say, look out for him. Don't be shocked, when you start
Yeah,
hearing his name and seeing him on the screen. So, we're telling you guys now early to start tuning in, before,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to his performance. Definitely looking forward to see what skill set he has, what his game plan is, what he's working on at this stage in his career, um, and his opponent selection. I want to see,
Me too.
are they putting him in there with somebody that's just going to be there to take punches, or is this
Mhm.
guy going to actually have some pushback
Yes.
and make him have to think and box? And so yeah, I'm interested to see what bag he has and what he's going to be working on.
Exactly. So I'm really excited to see. So it is on the bantamweight division. So again, we'll see what he does and what the future holds for him. Does he go up from here? With the weight class. So I mean, it's a lot of interesting factors, but we just want everybody to tune in. And then also some other fights. Oscar Valdez is returning against Ricky
Mhm.
Medina. It will be in Mexico, I believe on Saturday. So that's a fight. And then we have Danny Garcia is returning, correct?
Yes, we don't know the opponent, I believe. I don't think he has an opponent yet. But October 18th, he posts that this will be his final fight. So this is going to be his retirement fight. He's calling it his farewell to Brooklyn.
Oh,
It'll be at the Barclays October 18th.
awesome, awesome. Okay. So I know Danny Garcia will be fighting, but it'll be next month. So we'll give out a reminder for that. We do have a title fight with Eduardo Sugar Nunes fighting Christopher Valles. So that will be happening this weekend. And then we also, women's boxing. I really want to put people onto more women's boxing. So as I was telling Elijah earlier, there is a female boxer who's only 19 who's really trying to go on that undisputed status. She's only 2-0 right now with a 21-0 amateur record, and she's going for her third fight on Saturday. She'll be fighting out in, I believe, in England. Her name is Tia Mai Aiton, and I hope I pronounced that correctly. So I definitely want people to check her out because if we ever hear the next youngest undisputed, it might be Tia. So, she does
Okay.
want to take on more fights. She wants to go up in weight classes. She says she wants to go up to like 3 divisions or 4, so she wants to be like the next Clarissa Shields out here. And
Oh, okay. I'm interested now. Those are bold claims.
so she says these are high expectations, but I think I can do it. And you know what? For a 19
Yes.
years old with that mindset, I love it because there's
Yes.
no fear inside of her, and she has great power. Like she right now, I think the last 2 fights are all the knockouts, or in the early rounds. So just
Oh,
check her out. She's amazing. She's only 19. So we shall see because Gabriela Fandora became the youngest undisputed at 22 November 2024. So Tia does have some time to, become undisputed before 22, actually, if she keeps on fighting. So we shall see. And
yes.
she does fight in the bantamweight class. And so who we have there with some belts is Sugar Neeks.
Thank you. Yes. I don't she's unified at bantamweight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Definitely a matchup down the line.
Down the line.
Um,
Down the line.
I
Yeah.
would I'm looking forward to seeing where she's at right now in her career and um if it looks very promising, I haven't seen her fight yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that fight.
Definitely
Uh
route.
if it
Yeah.
looks promising, hey, you see guys like Carmel Moten calling out
Yeah.
uh, Lamont Roach with he's got like 7 or 8 fights, and
Yeah.
if they're willing to test themselves early on, I love to see that. So, um,
Take the risks, But again, like she has a few fights in. Fundora was, I think, probably like 14 fights in or so by the time she became
mm,
undisputed. So again, this is her third fight. She still has maybe another 12 fights to go to do that before the age 22. She just turned 19 this year, so that's what I'm saying. So hey, maybe at 21 she becomes undisputed and becomes the youngest undisputed champ. So all power to her. And we want more people to tune into women's boxing. Jake Paul has done an awesome job promoting the women and signing them and putting them on in main event fights. So we definitely want to see more of that and for people to tune in, and just have more discussions about women in boxing.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. And I think that women's boxing as a whole is just on an uphill slope. And yeah, I'm excited.
And then on a final note, I just want to end this. I really want the viewers to actually give us a chance to tell us who they would like to see us interview in the future. They got to see
Okay. Yes.
before. So, I want them in the comments below to just tell us like who would they like to see on this show. I know we do have some upcoming guests coming soon. We will announce it when the episode drops. It should be very exciting. We hope you guys tune in. But yeah, we still want to know like who would you like to see us on the show? Maybe your voices can help us be heard so these fighters can know like, hey, join their podcast, right? I mean, we're the
Yes,
best podcast out
please.
there. Come on, like we're the best.
Unbiased. Unbiased.
Like, we want to remain neutral. When I'm saying
Yes.
we're supporting a fighter does not mean it's all about that fighter. You know what I'm saying? They're still going to get criticized as well. But, we just want to make this fair, give these fighters a chance to show us who they are, not just as boxers, but as humans as well. And this is a platform that we want to share, And so, let us know who you guys would like to see on here.
Yes. Drop it in the comments.
Yes, we definitely want to know who, because I'm interested, like who they would pick to be on the show.
Me too.
Alrighty, so that's all for the Divine Hook podcast, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you
Bye.
guys. Have a good one.